Hey, this is Mass with a brand new Bleach Soul Reaper video, and boy do we have a bunch to talk about today since I kind of skipped last week since it was a rerun of White Ichigo, which I was so happy to see they are finally going to break up these banners. We've now got Baragon, which we will talk about, as well as, if you weren't aware, the Chinese version of the game has been out about a year longer than this one, and they just released their first UR character. So this game will have URs. We probably won't see it in this game for probably another 9 to 12 months, man, on how quickly they release characters. But it is still going forward, so I don't see this game going anywhere. But let's talk about Baragon first, and I'm going to talk about the conversation I had with the publishers. Had about a 45-minute to an hour phone call with them. It actually went really well and went through a lot of the ups and downs with this game and adjustments that at least I believe need to occur. But let's focus on our newest character, Baragon. It's our standard limited banner, but one of the beautiful things they have done now is they have added, at least, even though at a ridiculous price, diamond purchasing of both the Zanpakuto and the character. Kudos for them for doing it, and that's something we'll talk about at the end of this video, what I talked to them about and their monetization issues, at least in my opinion. But you know the routine. Do your dailies, make sure you're taking advantage of all the quests so you can get your free 50 shards of Baragon. But let's talk about this character, okay? His first skill, Axe of Demise, deals 115% attack plus 900 damage. Of course, that's all scaling on where he's at. And applies Scene mark to an enemy target. If the target has been marked, the current attack's crit rate increases by 50%. Not too bad, actually. Final Act deals 145% plus 800 damage, of course scaling, and applies Scene mark to all enemy targets. The mark can be purified. It also disappears after the target takes action. Additionally, damage taken by targets increases by 30%. This effect lasts for 2 turns. Now, that's something I'd love to talk about and has made, in my opinion, Unohana even a more top-tier character is the purification and how it can help when you're playing other teams with certain characters. And here's one right there where the mark can be purified. Now, let's talk about this passive Scene. After the mark disappears, deals damage equal to 160% of Baragon's attack to the marked targets. If the target dies due to this effect, they cannot be resurrected. That's the cool part about this. Very nice. Very cool, to say the least. Now, the biggie, which we always have to cringe when we talk about because we know how difficult it is after you get the Zanpakuto released to do these awakenings. But 1 and 2, of course, you are saving Ryatsu. But 3 and 4, that's what makes this character really freaking good. At 3, Final Act, additional effect, reduces the target's Ryoku recovery rate by 30% for 3 turns. Okay, that's pretty freaking cool. 4, targets with Scene mark cannot be resurrected upon death. So that's period. They don't have to be killed by it. If another character kills them and they're marked, that's it for them. Additional effect. If a target with the mark has less than 10% HP, the damage dealt when the mark disappears will instantly kill that target. Boom! Yeah. Nice character. I think he's really good. But like with most characters in this game, they really truly aren't amazing until you get to Awaken 3 and 4. And that's the biggest issue with this game, and how you can get to that point and how difficult it is with the available options to us. Which then brings me around to my discussion with them and some of the things I talked about. And one of the big things I talked about was monetization and the failure of a few things. One is too many banners, these event banners coming out quickly. They need to be broken up. And we talked about that they just did the White Ichigo, and I think that is how they should do it. Maybe do 2 back-to-back, do a rerun. Then you can do 2 more, then a rerun. Seemed very receptive to that, and they understood it. The other biggie is, yes, kudos to them for making now available shards and Zanpakutos in with the event for diamonds, but why can't you scale them? And if you don't want to adjust the diamond amount to it, at least for the Zanpakuto, and I talked to him about this, treat it like you do your shards. So the first one is $9.99, the next one is $24.99, the next one is $49.99. I really hope they grasp on to that concept, because then it will make these characters much more playable. On top of that, including these characters, these event characters in other areas of the game, so that you can get them over time. And they are starting to do that, and they started the rollout on that with the last update. But I think it needs to be in more areas of the game. And I do really think one of the greatest things they've done is these limited recruits. But they need to start funneling in the event characters, even if you wait for 6 weeks, okay? That's fine. But start staggering them in, because that's the only way you're going to ever be able to build these up, especially if you're a free-to-play player or a very light spender. So that needs to be done. We talked about that. We also talked about some other things in game, adjustments, quality of life. But to me, the biggest thing going on with this game right now, first and foremost, is how to find a way to get your monetization in a better way to really assist your free-to-plays and your light spenders, so they don't get frustrated and they can build these other characters over time and be able to use them. Because what we're finding now is most people cannot go in on all these characters. And so what happens is we still see the tried and trues right now, with maybe 1 new character out of 4 that were released. And to me, that shows that you have a community that feels it's just too much. And I really hope they took that to heart, because I think that would push this game in the right direction, as well as we talked about more ways for community, more ways to be able to get people in. I know they have some limitations giving their location and where this game is based, but there are ways around that. So I thought it was a very productive phone call. I know they recorded it, and I really was able to go down the laundry list of things, pros and cons with the game, that I, at least personally, I feel would improve it immensely. So that made me feel very good about the game, because I do like it a lot and I want to see it succeed. So last but not least is an old buddy of mine back from Bleach Immortal Souls posted a video with the first UR. If you're not aware, there's a Chinese version of this game. It's been out for a year more than this one, and they just posted the first UR. I'll put the link in the description if you're interested to see more of it. All I did was took a screenshot of the photo for now, but I want to give him the kudos because he still clearly has a Chinese account. I don't have mine anymore, and honestly, I don't like to bother with the Chinese accounts any longer. I've just, that's my own personal preference at this point in time. I'll do pretty much every other country at this point, but yeah. But so it is interesting that they will be bringing URs into the game, something to look forward to down the road. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Baragon. Let me know your thoughts on the game currently. I feel now we're through the honeymoon period, so now it's time for them to make the proper adjustments to make this game be successful. So with that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.